Okay, TGIF. They still say that, TGIF? I don't know. Anyway, happy Friday. All right, getting ready to do some work, but I just thought of something, and I got to make it right in my own mind before I get there. Let me show you. My wall stops. It overhangs my cut in the slab. See it? It overhangs it, which is good. So, I mean, all the way around, it overhangs. Right? Overhangs it here. Right? Overhangs it over here. That's good. So what I need to figure is when I put my deck mud, I don't necessarily want to put it all the way to the top of my cut, which means that if I do that, the tile will have to go higher than that. Right? You follow what I mean? Like if my deck mud stops here if it stops at the height of my cut at level with the cut, that means my tile with the grout and everything is going to be above. And I don't necessarily want that to happen because I don't think there's a need for it to happen. So I've been trying to figure. I mean, I still have a good slope from my start of my slope to the pan, to my linear drain. I still have a good slope. Right? See that? That's a good slope. But I gotta get it. I'm not. Once I start with the deck mud, I'm committed, right? So I want to get this right the first time. And I just thought, well, no, I didn't really just think about this because I've been wondering the whole time how high my cut is compared to, like, the bottom of the. Anyway, I know I'm not explaining it right, but I'm trying to figure out. At some point, I know I'm going to have to be level with the cut out here. Right? I'm going to have to be level with the slab. Because that's just the way it's going to have to be. And the floor tile is going to be coming along here. So that's at some point there. So what I'm trying to say is I need to figure out where I start to make that turn. Yeah, I know. I'm not explaining it right. Hold on. Let me get reconfigured and see if I can, figure out what's going on. Hold on. Okay, maybe this will help. We got the deck mud. We got the thin set. And I don't have the Dietra level, but that's okay. Man, it's only going to add a little bit. Hold on, let me put the Dietra level in there. Okay, there's the Dietra. So we've got the deck mud. The thin set should actually be on top. All right, let's do it right. If we're going to do it, let's do it right. Deck mud, Dietra, thin set, tile. Okay, if we're going to do it right, let's do it right. Okay, here we go. So I need to figure, see this, the front of the tile, the beginning of the slope has to be on the slab. Has to be level on the slab. And then it starts my slope down to my linear drain. All right. And we still have the slope. All right. By a large margin, I mean, So, what does that mean? What's that telling me? I know, I'm all over the place, but this is like probably more for me. It might be for anybody else that's having a concern like this. But see, look at where the deck mud stops. See how low the deck mud stops, right? Instead of coming all the way up to this cut, which it doesn't need to necessarily. Well, it's going to have to come up a little higher, you see, because I want the tile. I don't want a big gap between the tile and the floor tile and the wall tile. Because what am I going to fill it with? Grout? It's not going to look too great. I mean, a little bit of a gap is fine, but I don't want a huge gap. I mean, like right here, see this little gap right there? That's okay. So I got to play around with some more, figure out. And I brought my, let's see, where's my float? I brought my float in, and this float could be the same height as my spacing, right? See that thickness? Okay. So I might use that. If I put the float at the top of the linear drain, that might actually be the thickness of, let me show you. See this? Yeah, if I do that, that might be a good thickness. Like, you know, because if when I'm putting the deck mud down and I can say, okay, I want to be at the top of this linear drain, that's a good thing. So that's not a problem. The problem is when I'm coming up here, right? Where do I want the deck mud to stop along this wall? And that's what I got to figure out. Because I'll say it again, once I start this process, I'm committed. Like once I mix my slurry and put the slurry, I'm not going to slurry the whole thing at once. I'm just going to slurry. Well, first of all, I'm going to do in here. So I'm going to slurry around the walls here. I'm going to slurry the rebar, you know, just to get a little bit extra grip. So, but once I start it, I'm committed. So that's why I don't want to be figuring out, okay, where do I need to go? You know, where do I need to stop along my cut? And that's what I got to figure out. Because originally I was just going to come right to my edge on all sides, all four, you know, sides. But I'm thinking, well, I don't necessarily have to do that because remember the tile is coming over the cut. So I can I'm going to say bury. I can bury the tile a little bit, right? I can bury it. And this actually might be, that might be too thick. What's the thickness of that? Oh, that's actually pretty good. See that? I know, I'm all over the place. See this thickness here? It's actually just a little thinner than the Ditra, the thin set, and the tile. All right, so I'm going to have another cup of coffee. Because I'm not ready. Like I said, once I get into it, I'm in it. You know, I'm in it to win it, right? But you can understand my dilemma. I want it to look nice when it's done. I don't want the tile to, you know, I don't want to make it look, you know, crappy. I want the marriage, you know, between the floor tile and the wall tile to look nice. Separated by some grout, that's fine, you know. But I don't want the grout to be like super, you know, wide. If I can get away with that. So that's what I need to figure out. I need to figure all this stuff out, right? That would be here, kind of. Like right like that. See that? I mean, there's going to be some grout separating the two anyway. That's going to have to be the way it is. It's not like I can put the wall tile down. The wall tile has to go, you know, the way the tile one is going to go, you know, this way, right? So there's going to be some grout separating the two. All right, I know I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to slow down and figure it out. And then when I think I have it figured out, I'm going to make sure I got it figured out because this is an important step. I mean, I got a good slope, right? I got the good slope here going. All right, that's a good slope. And that's going to the top as it should from the top of the tile. So anyway, I'll leave you with this shot right here. We're going to think about it some more. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more to come. Hopefully it's going to be an interesting day. I like to get the deck mud down today. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks for watching, putting up with me. More to come.